Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to our Srimad Bhagavatam Stutis series. We'll continue with Kunti's prayers, Shloka number 29 of chapter 8, canto number 1. Naveda kaschit bhagavamschikiršitam
Naveda kashit bhagavam sikishitam
tavehamanasya nranam vidambanam
tavehamanasya nirnam vidambanam
nayasya kaschit daitosti karhichit
nayasya kashit daitosti karhichit
dveshyascha yasmin vishamamatirnranam.
veshyasya yasmin visamamatir
Word for word meaning translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Na does not Veda no Kaschit anyone Bhagavan O Lord Chikiršitam pastimes Tava your Ihamanasya like the worldly men Nranam of the people in general Vidambanam misleading Na never Yasya his Kaschit anyone Daitaha object of specific favor Asti there is Karhichit anywhere Dveshyaha object of envy Cha and Yasmin unto him Vishama partiality Matihi conception Nranam of the people. Translation O Lord, no one can understand your transcendental pastimes.
No one can understand your transcendental pastimes,
which appear to be human and so are misleading. You have no specific object of favor. Nor do you have any object of envy. People only imagine that you are partial. Yeah. So Kunti Maharani is expanding a little bit more on what she has already stated yesterday, that the Lord is not partial. Prabhupada writes here on the purport, the Lord's mercy upon the fallen souls is equally distributed. He has no one as the specific object of hostility. The very conception of the personality of Godhead as a human being is misleading. His pastimes appear to be exactly like a human being's, but actually they are transcendental and without any tinge of material contamination. He is undoubtedly known as partial to his pure devotees, but in fact he is never partial, as much as the sun is never partial to anyone. By utilizing the sun rays, sometimes even the stones become valuable. Whereas a blind man cannot see the sun, although there are enough sun rays before him. Darkness and light are two opposite conceptions, but this does not mean that the sun is partial in distributing its rays. The sun rays are open to everyone, but the capacities of the receptacles differ. That means Prabhupada is beautifully explaining using this analogy. You have to have the capacity to receive and utilize the sunlight for your own benefit. If you have not developed the capacity, then of course you will say the sun is of no use to you. Even a stone, Prabhupada says, can utilize the sun and become a precious metal. Foolish people think that devotional service is flattering the Lord to get special mercy. So some people think, okay, I have to do bhakti so that I am in the Lord's good grace. So therefore I have to flatter the Lord. Factually, the pure devotees who are engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord are not a mercantile community, which means the genuine devotee will not go to the Lord and ask him for material favors. For example, you can see that Dhruva Maharaj, initially he wanted a bigger and better kingdom than his grandfather Swayambhuva Manu. And therefore, for that, he was ready to do intense tapas. So that tapas was for a material benefit. And then the Lord appears in front of him. The minute he gets darshan of the Lord, he has a change in heart and a change of consciousness. And he says, I don't want anything else. I have you. Therefore, he says Krishna consciousness is like a precious diamond, whereas material consciousness is like broken pieces of glass. You're chasing something shiny, but in the end, it is going to end up hurting you. So therefore, factually, Prabhupada says the pure devotees who are engaged in transcendental loving service of the Lord are not a mercantile community. That is why we were discussing those 3 shlokas in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that the Lord is thinking, look at this fool, he's coming to me for poison. I am the source of ambrosia. When I am the source of ambrosia, why should I give him poison, even though that's what he's demanding? So the Lord is thinking, I will trick him. I will make him forget Maya, and I will make him take the shelter of my lotus feet. Finished. Then he becomes a devotee. So the Lord is always anxious for you to take shelter of his lotus feet. It is just that we don't have that receptacle to understand that the Lord is a supreme Lord and he will only protect us. A mercantile house renders service to someone in exchange for value. This for that. You have to give something and you will get something. So it's like a transaction. Devotees don't want to have a transactional relationship with the Lord. They want to have a genuine, loving affair with the Lord. The pure devotee does not render service unto the Lord for such exchange, and therefore the full mercy of the Lord is open for him. So you can think that mercy is like a tap. The more surrendered you are, the more you experience the mercy of the Lord. Suffering men, needy men, inquisitive persons, or philosophers make temporary connections with the Lord to serve a particular purpose. That means your connection with the Lord is temporary. Yeah. So this is that 4 kind of pious people Prabhupada is talking about from the Bhagavad Gita. A suffering man, if he is pious at all, prays to the Lord for his recovery. But as soon as the recovery is over, in most cases, the suffering man no longer cares to keep any connection with the Lord. Very good. I have given you something, you've given me something in return, and let's close our relationship here. I don't need to interact with you anymore. I'll come to you when I need you. The mercy of the Lord is open for him, but he is reluctant to receive it. That is the difference between a pure devotee and a mixed devotee. Those who are completely against the service of the Lord are considered to be in abject darkness. Those who ask for the Lord's favor only at the time of necessity are partial recipients of the mercy of the Lord. So you yourself have gone to the Lord and said, I want temporary relief. And then you will turn around and blame the Lord when problems come again. Well, you could have sought permanent relief, but you only asked for temporary relief. So only temporary mercy you will get. And those who are 100% engaged in the service of the Lord are full recipients of the mercy of the Lord. Such partiality in receiving the Lord's mercy is relative to the recipient, and it is not due to the partiality of the all-merciful Lord. So if the stone wants to use the full power of the sun, it can become a precious metal, a precious stone. But if a human being does not want to take advantage of the sunshine, locks himself up in a dark cave, then what can you do? You can't say the sun is partial. It's just that we were not intelligent to take up Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada, in one of his lectures in Mayapur on this particular shloka, he says, everybody thinks Krishna was partial, and that is why Kunti is specifically calling out that he's not partial. But if you look at it externally, Prabhupada says people may think Krishna was so partial to the Pandavas. And he was so envious towards the Kurus. Vidambanam means misleading, the word that Kunti Maharani uses here. But Krishna, it may look like he's playing the part of an ordinary human being. But Prabhupada says the Moodas cannot understand Krishna. And in the Mayapur lecture, Prabhupada cites this particular shloka from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, shloka 25. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavrita mudhayam nabhijanati mam eva param avyayah. So a mudha cannot understand who is the Lord. So Putana tried to kill the Lord, but she was elevated to the position of a mother or a nurse. And Prabhupada says, Swalpamapyasya dharmasya I trayate mahato bhayat. So even a little bit of service you do to Krishna, he accepts it and he will protect you. So the little service that Putana did was, like a mother, she came to feed Krishna. That's it. Krishna accepted that service and gave her a position in the Goloka planet. So therefore, Prabhupada says Krishna is absolute. Therefore, when he kills somebody and when he saves somebody, it is the same thing. By killing Putana, he saved her by sending her to the spiritual world. By saving the Pandavas, he's protected them so they can continue on their spiritual journey. Therefore, there is no duality when you are interacting with the Lord. And therefore, the Lord is impartial. Prabhupada writes, when the Lord descends to this material world, by his all-merciful energy, he plays like a human being. And therefore, it appears that the Lord is partial to his devotees only, but that is not a fact. Despite such apparent manifestation of partiality, his mercy is equally distributed. In the battlefield of Kurukshetra, all persons who died in the fight before the presence of the Lord got salvation without the necessary qualifications, because death before the presence of the Lord purifies the passing soul from the effects of all sins, and therefore the dying man gets a place somewhere in the transcendental abode. Think how merciful the Lord is. How many people on that battlefield of the 64 crore people who died, how many of them you think were Krishna conscious? Perhaps a very small percentage. Yet, simply because they left their body in the presence of the Lord gave them a better destination. Simply, the Lord's presence purified everybody. So then how you can say Krishna is partial? On the one hand, it's because of Krishna they all lost their lives. On the other hand, it's because of Krishna they all went to a better destination. So then how can you say Krishna is partial? Somehow or the other, if someone puts himself open in the sun rays, he is sure to get the requisite benefit both by heat and by the ultraviolet rays. Therefore, the conclusion is that the Lord is never partial. It is wrong for the people in general to think of him as partial. Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dvesho sti kinchana. Krishna says, the Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. Namam karmani limpanti name karmas spriha. So the Lord is saying, I may look like an ordinary human being, but my activities, I don't accumulate any karma. Yes. So the Lord is apapavitham, as is mentioned in the Ishopanishad. So we have to follow Krishna's instructions. We cannot imitate him. And in this way, Prabhupada actually explains in that Mayapur lecture that if all of us preach, because we are part of the preaching mission, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission is to preach. If we preach, then we are getting purified much faster than anything else, any other devotional processes. Preaching is very, very purifying activity. So here Kunti Maharani is saying, nobody can understand how you operate, Krishna. You look like an ordinary human being. So your activities may seem to be very misleading. Actually, you don't have any likes and dislikes. How can you have any likes and dislikes? How can a father select which son is his favorite? He will always say, all of them are part of me. So how can I be against them? Therefore, the Lord does not have any favorites, nor does he have any enemies. But people make him an enemy. And therefore, Kunti Maharani is saying, people only imagine that you are partial.
If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you'd like to join our classes every day, please check the details in the description section of this video. We look forward to serving you.